Ladies and gentlemen, what we just witnessed was nothing short of legendary. The most anticipated fight of the entire year just concluded moments ago, and I'm still trying to process the absolute domination we just saw unfold inside that octagon. An undefeated monster finally got his hands on championship gold, and the way he claimed it will be talked about for decades. 14 wins, 0 losses. Tonight, that perfect record didn't just continue, it reached its ultimate destination. But the story of how this happened, the sheer brutality and technical statement that echoed through every corner of the mixed martial arts world. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear will redefine what championship dominance looks like. In the blue corner stood a man who had been hunting championship gold like an apex predator stalking its prey. 6'2" of pure violence wrapped in technical perfection. 14 professional fights, 14 victims left in his wake, 0 questions about his ability to impose his will on anyone brave enough to step in there with him. This Chechen-born, UAE-representing destroyer had bulldozed through every elite contender the division could offer. His wrestling wasn't just elite, it was suffocating, soul-crushing, and absolutely inescapable. For years, fans and fighters alike had wondered, what happens when this undefeated machine finally gets his shot at the throne? Tonight, we got our answer, and it was more devastating than anyone could have imagined. Across from him stood South African steel personified, the reigning, defending middleweight champion of the world, carrying a record of 23 wins against only 2 losses. This man had climbed the mountain through pure heart, determination, and an iron will that had carried him through every storm the division could throw at him. He'd proven himself against elite competition, survived adversity that would break lesser men, and earned his place among the greatest middleweights of his generation. That golden belt around his waist wasn't just jewelry. It was a symbol of everything he'd overcome to reach the pinnacle of the sport. But tonight, he would face a test unlike anything in his championship reign. Tonight, he would discover what happens when an unstoppable force meets what everyone believed was an immovable object. Round 1. The opening bell rang, and within seconds, I'm talking mere seconds, we witnessed the most explosive takedown in championship history. The undefeated challenger shot forward like a missile, secured those legs with lightning precision, and drove the champion to the canvas with such authority that the entire arena erupted. But that was just the appetizer. What happened next was a masterclass in ground control that left veteran fighters and analysts alike shaking their heads in amazement. The challenger immediately secured what grapplers call the crucifix position, a nightmare scenario where the champion's arms were trapped, his movement completely restricted, and his opponent free to rain down controlled violence. For over 4 agonizing minutes, we watched as the champion was systematically broken down. Not through wild, reckless striking, but through calculated, methodical punishment that demonstrated the challenger's complete understanding of leverage, positioning, and psychological warfare. The champion, to his credit, showed the heart that had carried him to the throne. He protected himself intelligently, stayed calm under the most extreme pressure imaginable, and refused to give his opponent the satisfaction of a quick finish. But with every passing second, it became clear that we were witnessing something unprecedented. Rounds 2 through 5. As we moved deeper into this championship contest, any hope that the first round was a fluke evaporated completely. What we witnessed over the next 4 rounds was nothing short of a systematic dismantling of a champion who had seemed invincible just hours earlier. Round after round, the challenger's game plan unfolded with surgical precision. Every takedown attempt succeeded. Every scramble ended with him in the dominant position. Every moment on the feet was brief, ending the instant he decided to drag the fight back to his world. In round 2, we saw more of the same suffocating control.
The challenger's conditioning was otherworldly, his technique flawless, and his ability to maintain dominant positions for extended periods was unlike anything we'd ever seen at championship level. Round 3 brought a brief moment of hope for the champion when he managed to create some separation, but it lasted mere seconds before being dragged back into the nightmare. The challenger's relentless pace never wavered, his technique never deteriorated, and his mental approach never shifted from complete dominance. By round 4, the writing was clearly on the wall, but the challenger wasn't satisfied with just winning. He wanted to make a statement that would echo through the ages. His control became even more suffocating, his positioning even more perfect, and his ability to neutralize the champion's offense even more complete. Round 5 was a coronation disguised as a championship round. The challenger spent the final 5 minutes putting an exclamation point on one of the most dominant performances in UFC history, controlling every second and leaving absolutely no doubt about who deserved to walk out with that golden belt.
When those final seconds ticked away and the horn sounded to end this historic contest, there wasn't a single person in that arena who had any doubt about what they'd just witnessed. The judges' scorecards would soon reflect what everyone already knew. We had just watched a changing of the guard that would be remembered as one of the most dominant title performances in mixed martial arts history. The numbers, when they were announced, told the complete story of this domination. Unanimous decision? Yes, but the scorecards? 50-44, 50-44, 50-44, across all 3 judges way possible. After years of hunting championship gold, after demolishing every contender put in front of him, he had finally reached the summit of the middleweight division, and he'd done it by delivering one of the most dominant championship performances in UFC history. What did you think of this absolutely dominant performance? Have you ever seen a more complete championship victory? Who do you think will be brave enough to step up and challenge the new king? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Smash that like button if this breakdown got your adrenaline pumping, and make sure to subscribe because we're just getting started with the Chimaev era. The middleweight division will never be the same again. Welcome to the age of Khamzat Chimaev, and trust me, you don't want to miss what comes next.